the fake army that terrified Nazi Germany.
How could something that did not exist on any battlefield shape the fate of the Second World War?
It is early 1944. Across the grey waters of the English Channel, the German Wehrmacht.
Somewhere in Britain, the Allies are preparing the greatest amphibious invasion in history.
Somewhere in Britain, the Allies are preparing the greatest amphibious invasion in history.
Nazi intelligence believes it knows where the blow will fall. The Pas-de-Calais, the narrowest point of the Channel.
They are certain. They have seen the camps, the tanks, the landing craft, the airfields. They have detected radio networks humming with the traffic of entire corps and armies.
But what the Germans are seeing is a lie.
On paper, it is the first U.S. Army Group, FUSAG, commanded by the feared American General George S. Patton.
In reality, it is an elaborate phantom, an army of rubber tanks, wooden aircraft, and ghost radio operators.
In the summer of 1944, this fake army will hold down real German divisions and help decide the outcome of D-Day.
By late 1943, the war has turned against Nazi Germany. On the Eastern Front, the Red Army has survived the winter and the slaughter at Stalingrad.
In Italy, Allied troops have landed at Salerno and pushed slowly northward, but the decisive blow must come in Western Europe.
At Tehran in November 1943, Stalin demands a second front. Roosevelt and Churchill agree.
But the problem is terrifying in its simplicity. Where will they land?
Field Marshal von Rundstedt oversees German forces in France, while Rommel inspects the Atlantic Wall and strengthens every beach.
The Allies, under Eisenhower, know a failed landing could mean 150,000 men driven into the sea and the war delayed for years.
The obvious invasion point is the Pas-de-Calais, closest to England and well connected into Germany.
The German 15th Army guards this sector with multiple infantry divisions, coastal artillery, and reserves.
But Ike and his planners choose differently. They select Normandy, further west, with weaker defenses and wider beaches.
Is codenamed Overlord.
If the Germans guess the real landing site, they can mass panzers and infantry against the beaches and crush the assault.
So the Allies turn to a different kind of weapon: deception.
Under the codename Bodyguard, planners design a web of lies to hide the time and place of invasion.
One daring piece is Operation Fortitude, with Fortitude North aimed at Norway and Fortitude South at the Pas-de-Calais.
At the heart of Fortitude South stands a completely fabricated army group.
To lead it, they choose the one Allied commander the Germans truly fear, Lieutenant General George S. Patton.
In the quiet fields of Kent, Sussex, and Essex, something strange begins to appear in early 1944.
From a distance, they look like Sherman tanks, trucks, and 155mm howitzers.
They are rubber, canvas, and plywood, products of British camouflage units and American engineers.
Crews unroll canvas, inflate dummy tanks with air pumps, and assemble wooden silhouettes of aircraft.
Where once there were hedgerows and orchards, now rows of Shermans line up beside Priest self-propelled guns.
Along the Thames estuary and east coast, carpenters build dummy landing craft from timber frames and canvas sheeting.
Seen from a Luftwaffe reconnaissance aircraft, they look ready for invasion.
New airfields appear, complete with wooden bombers and fighters.
By night, crews wheel phantom bombers on rails and light flare paths to mimic takeoffs and landings.
The entire fantasy is given structure on paper. FUSAG is listed with notional corps, divisions, and support units.
Many formations do not exist. Others are real divisions secretly destined for Normandy, not Calais.
Behind the scenes, another crucial layer is added: radio deception. Special signal units, under Quicksilver, create ghost radio traffic for the fake army. Teams work in pairs, one playing a division headquarters, another replying as a regimental net control station. For 24 hours a day, they trade routine messages any German signals officer would expect.
To make it convincing, every fictitious unit has a history, a location, a strength, even training schedules.
Each night, Allied intelligence checks ultra-decrypts from Bletchley Park.
They watch as German analysts intercept, decode, and map the pattern of Allied radio nets.
Slowly,
The image of Fusag appears on German situation maps. By May 1944, Luftwaffe reconnaissance confirms what their signals people report.
From 20,000 feet, inflatable vehicles and wooden ships look entirely real.
In Berlin and at OKW, the conclusion seems obvious. A massive force is aimed directly across the Narrows.
What the Germans do not know is that their most trusted human sources are also part of the deception.
The British XX Committee has turned almost every German agent in Britain. Among them is the Spaniard Juan Pujol Garcia, codenamed Garbo.
In spring 1944, his reports focus heavily on one thing: the growing might of Patton's 1st U.S. Army Group in southeast England.
Through a network of fictitious sub-agents, he feeds German intelligence a careful mix of truth and lies. Shortly after midnight, 6 June 1944, the sky over Normandy fills with aircraft.
Transports tow gliders or drop paratroopers of U.S. and British airborne divisions into the darkness.
No! Was ist das? Alarm! Gebt Alarm! Sie sind überall!
By 0630 hours, the sea roars with engines of landing craft headed for Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau, and Sword. At Omaha Beach, U.S. 1st and 29th Infantry Divisions wade into a storm of shells and MG-42 fire.
In the first hours, roughly 2,000 Americans become casualties. For 3 brutal hours, it seems entirely possible that the invasion might fail.
German command must decide. Is this the main invasion or just a diversion?
Rommel is away in Germany. Crucial decisions fall to others as they argue over releasing panzer reserves.
A senior German leader, convinced a second greater blow is coming, hesitates. Behind the lines, powerful armored formations wait. 1st SS Panzer, 12th SS, Panzer Lehr, and others.
If committed early and en masse, they might crush the fragile Allied foothold.
In London, there are no guns, only typewriters, radios, and officers hunched over decrypts.
Deception officers know Overlord may depend on what Germans believe in the next 48 hours.
On 6 June, GARBO sends a carefully timed message, reporting the Normandy landings as a feint. He insists the real blow will fall at the Patton's
Little do they know that the divisions he names are canvas, rubber, and ink on Allied staff maps.
If Germans see through the deception, 15th Army may rush to Normandy. If they believe it, they will stay put. As Allied forces take over 10,000 casualties on D-Day, the deception campaign hangs in the balance. On the 2nd and 3rd days after D-Day, codebreakers at Bletchley Park begin to see the answer. Messages from OKW and Army Group B still expect a second, larger invasion in the Pas-de-Calais. Hitler orders 15th Army to remain in place, convinced Patton's Phantom Army is the real threat.
The deception does not end on 6 June. Fortitude South intensifies. Radio operators of Quicksilver continue to chatter as if hundreds of thousands still train in southeast England.
Dummy landing craft are rearranged to hint at imminent departure toward Calais.
Garbo and other double agents report that the Normandy bridgehead is only a prelude to the real blow further east.
Day after day, for over a month, deception teams maintain the illusion with relentless precision.
At Calais and Boulogne, artillery crews of 15th Army scan the horizon, waiting for invasion fleets that never appear. By keeping these troops pinned, the Allies shape the battlefield in Normandy. Weeks pass. Normandy becomes a grinding battle of attrition in the hedgerows and sunken lanes. For nearly 7 weeks, the bulk of 15th Army stays in Pas-de-Calais, guarding against Fusag. When major German forces finally move, it is late July. The Allies burst out of Normandy and encircle the Falaise pocket.
Historians estimate Fortitude South tied down more than a dozen German divisions and may have saved the invasion.
Ours. Through shadows and illusions, a fake army helped open the road to Paris. This was just one of